Good day, this is Ray. Today is Saturday, December 28th, 2024. For me, another day of learning and growing. Hope that you, family, friends, and loved ones are doing well and staying safe. So here it is. It's the end of 2024, and at the end of each year, this will be the second year that I've done this, is I'm giving a recap of my, not only my financial journey this year and paying off consumer debt, but going all the way back to when I started this, paying off this insane amount of consumer debt back in June of 2020. Before I get into that, though, I want to give you the big picture. If you heard this before, feel free to skip over this. But I just, want to kind of give an idea of where I started and where I am. So the big picture is, in May of 2019, I was diagnosed with lupus. I was in and out of the hospital 6 times in less than the two-year period. Accrued debt, medical debt at the time, but I also had, other debt. And I will show you the breakdown of that debt a little bit later. And it was a very difficult time in my life, a time where I wasn't sure if I was ever going to make income again. I'm glad to be far away from that, but yeah, more to come in a later video when I recap the year from heck, 2019. June 2020 is when I started paying off my consumer debt. I had identified that I had over $115,000. I'll give you the specific number a little bit later in this video. And then May of 2021, I learned how to budget, which totally changed the game for me and allowed me to do what I did next in December 2021, was when I became a first-time homeowner. Didn't anticipate becoming a homeowner anytime, that quickly. But really, it was out of necessity because the rental market was out of control and interest rates on homes were low. And fortunately, by that time, I had really started paying off a lot of debt and my credit was really good. So I got a really good interest rate. And then finally, in January of this year, I paid off half of that original $115,000 worth of consumer debt. So where am I now? At the beginning of this year, I started off at $57,531.97. In January, I paid off $906.97. February, $935.36. March, $1512.66. April, $1053.24. May, $1021.21. June, $1231.19. July, $979.25. August, $975.02. September, $1032.47. October, $932.90. November, $1221.83. And in December, I paid off $838.32. Had a few challenges this month, but looking back at this year, the highest amount I paid off was $1512.66, and the lowest amount was this month, $838.32. I'm actually surprised I was able to pay off even that much because I had the unexpected medical bill that I had to pay for the procedure that I had, endoscopy. And I said, well, that's money I'm not going to be able to just come up with unless I take it out of my emergency fund or shift around my finances, money that I already had allocated towards other things in my budget. And that's basically what I did, was I took money from other categories and just put it towards that medical bill. All in all, this year I paid off $12,640.02, which is close to what I projected. As a matter of fact, I projected I'd pay off $12,000 at the beginning of the year. I'm over that target by $640.42. So not bad, and you'll see this is the highest amount I paid off as a homeowner. I'm going to have another slide just dedicated towards that. But let me go ahead and do a year-to-date comparison. At the same time last year, which was December of last year, how much did I pay off at that point? So 2023, I paid off $9,946.51. This year I paid off $1,266.42, and I was ahead by $2,693.91 from last year's pace. Very cool. My baby emergency fund is fully funded. Let me see, and I'm just trying to stick to the script because I don't want this presentation to be too long. I am introducing a new slide. I may have shown something like this in the past, but I want to show you what my debt actually looked like in June of 2020. This was before I was budgeting at all. I just knew that I had to stop the bleeding and start paying off as much debt as I could. So I only had a few categories. I could have split this up into a lot of subcategories, but I just, this is what I thought to do at that time to see exactly how much I had. So I had medical debt, I had credit card debt, a debt on installment, I had loans, I had student loans, and then my total debt. So the medical debt at that time is not really reflective of what I actually had because I actually put some medical debt on credit cards as well as part of my 401k loans. But the medical debt that I had during this snapshot in time was $2,666.69. Again, I had more debt within my loans because my out-of-pocket maximum for 2019, 2020 was $4,600. So I had to come out of pocket roughly that amount both of those years. And I did not have the money. I had a lot of debt. Credit card debt, $28,582.39. Other debt on installment, $1,119.39, which was a cell phone. And I still have the cell phone. I'm not getting rid of the cell phone. The cell phone's paid off. And I had loans, a combination of 401k loans, personal loans. That was $32,983.42. My student loan, which is not even that much far off than what it was back in 2020, $46,690, and then my total, $115,041.89. Yeah, so that's why I said enough is enough. I think part of it too was that my health was so bad. I said, if I can deal with my health and be public about it, why can't I deal with my finances and be just as public with that? And okay, so that was June of 2020. What about now? What does it look like now? It looks a lot different than, what you saw on the previous slide. And I broke it down a little better now. This is how I look at my consumer debt or non-mortgage debt picture. No medical debt, no credit card debt, no debt on installment, no auto loans, no 401k loans. I have a personal loan that's $9,900, and then student loans for $34,991.55. Some part of that personal loan is the credit card debt. Maybe a little bit of that is any medical debt, but at this point it's hard to tell. Consolidating the debt for me was the best option, only because my minimum payments for my credit cards was just too high. I was paying thousands of dollars in minimum payments, and now having a loan, it definitely freed up a lot of money. Now I'm not spending that extra money on ridiculous stuff. I am putting extra money each month towards the debt. I know how to budget. I hadn't taken a real vacation in years, and not sure when I'm going to take another vacation. But that is a look of what my debt picture looks like right now. So the percentage of debt, 78% of my debt is student loans, and then 22% of my debt is that personal loan. Yep, so as you can see, the biggest part of my debt is that student loan that I took out over 20 years ago now, and it's horrible. It is horrible. It just kind of stays with you. If I were younger and were making the type of money I make now, which isn't six figures, I'm not a six-figure earner, I would have definitely tackled it a lot sooner. But here I am, and just kind of roll with it. Okay, so now I want to take a look at how much I've paid off each year going back to 2020. And I wasn't good about tracking the times of when, of how much I paid off within a 12-month period until I got to 2022. So from January 2020 to January 2021, I paid off $17,531.32. February 2021 to December 2021, I paid off $19,562.05. That was the highest amount that I paid off. The reason those first 2 years look as good as they do is because I was back home with my parents. It was during the pandemic. I was living at home, and I said I'm just going to dump as much money as I can. I probably could have paid off 27,000 in February 2021, but by that time I had to learn how to budget, and I found out the importance of having an emergency fund. So I had to slow it down a little bit, build my emergency fund, and then go ahead and start to get back on track with paying off debt. But also became a homeowner at the end of December 2021, which is why 2022, 2023, 2024 looks a lot lower than previously. 2022 I paid off $10,480.04. 2023 I paid off $9,946.51. This year $12,640.42, the highest amount I paid off as a homeowner. Truly grateful for where things are headed. Prayerfully my health will maintain that I'll be able to maybe even pay off a little bit more next year. I just don't know yet. There's a couple of challenges I'm facing with my HOA going up by $90, my mortgage escrow going up. I think it's like maybe $120 some bucks. They miscalculated my property taxes for last year or this year, which I figured would be the case because we had a tax cut on state taxes last year. I said, property city taxes. We had a cut on that as well as state. And so, city and county. Yeah, city and county taxes. Those were cut. And I figured that wouldn't happen again this year. So here I am having an escrow shortage, which I will talk about in a future video as to how that can affect you and how you can sort of get ahead of it to be able to make extra escrow payments. So now, this is the part where I tell you how much I paid off of my original debt. So as of June 2020, my consumer debt was $115,041.89. I paid off a total of $70,150.34. My consumer debt today is $44,891.55, which means I paid off approximately 61% of that original debt. Two things about that is that I paid off over $70,000 worth of consumer debt. To be specific, $70,150.34 of that. And my debt today is under $45,000, which for a lot of people, they're saying that's still a lot of the debt. Why are you sort of giddy about this? I'm not giddy about it. I'm just glad for the progress that's being made and the fact that I've learned how to budget. I'm not going to give projections for next year because I have to consider a lot. If there's any chance that I, get a raise, if I have a bonus that's even close to what I got last year, if I get tax returns, those are all things I'm going to sit down and just kind of calculate out and then maybe make a stretch goal for what I would want to pay off next year, what expenses I'm going to cut back on. Am I going to be able to have maybe a side hustle next year? Maybe, all those things will be a factor in how much I project to pay off in next year. Speaking of next year, I will be rebranding my channel. I'll announce that in 2025, which we're only a couple of days away from. I just want to encourage you, if you're on your own debt journey, the best time to start is right now. Don't wait until a perfect time. Say 2025 is going to be the year I start. Okay, that's fine. Get started. If you don't start in January, start in February. If you don't start in February, start in March. It doesn't matter if you start at the beginning of the month or the middle of the month. Wherever you are is where you are. Identify how much that you have. Start to come up with a plan on how to tackle that. Learn how to budget. My budget is zero-based budgeting, where every dollar is assigned to a category. And hold yourself accountable. If you have a spouse, if you have a partner, very close friend, that you want to share that journey with them, that's fine. If you want to do a YouTube channel like me and be crazy and just put your business out there like that, you can do that too. I just want to encourage you. It can be done. I do have a 401k, so I'm not entirely, screwed when it comes to my retirement. I have relatively good savings there. So anyway, if you made it this far, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You know when I post my videos. You can find me at youtube.com/@Lupus Lifestyle. As always, thank you for watching. Hope you all have a happy new year.